Y'all, so I just wrapped up watching The Diplomat on Netflix. So it's on season two, and let me tell you, what a wild ride. Now, sometimes the Netflix series, depending upon like what it is, like if it's a comedy, okay, whatever. But like if it's some kind of drama with a plot and a story, I definitely have to go back and watch the previous season to catch myself up to speed, which is fine because I watch TV super fast. So I definitely had to go back and watch season one, even though I sort of kind of remembered some of what was going on. Like you have a lady, Carrie Russell to be exact, and something happened. She was supposed to go to this other country, but she ended up going to London as the ambassador. Um, and she's with her husband, who she loves slash hates. Okay, dynamic is wild, but the husband is always doing stuff. Her husband was an ambassador, and she was like, I guess, like his program manager while he was the ambassador. But I mean, he probably ended up pissing some people off, whatever the case may be. He was no longer an ambassador. But he like does a lot of stuff, right? Does a lot of like behind the scenes puppet master foolishness, right? And it drives her bananas. So, they're like, we're going to get divorced. We're back together. We're going to get divorced. It's ridiculous, right? So at any rate, what you see in this series is an ambassador who's a female and how she's navigating herself with this on again, off again husband in her new role. That's what you see here. Um, Let me see. Did they talk about this in season one? I think they did talk about this in season one because something was up with the vice president of the United States, which is also a female. And so she was on the short list. They wanted to groom her to be the next VP. I don't know why they picked her. I mean, I have no idea because I'm like, well, if her husband was the ambassador and she was like his program manager, I mean, sure, she was like in the political realm. I can't remember what her exact job was, but I was just like, well, why are y'all wanting to pick her, child? But anywho, it goes with the plot, I guess. Okay, so initially she was telling them, no, I don't want to be no VP. Please leave me alone. She's like, I barely want to be this ambassador, which is true, right? And so that's season one, seeing her in her role. Something is going on in London, London, the Russians, something is going down, right? Because when the series opens up, there's a bombing in London on this ship. That's how it opens up. And so they want her to go and be the ambassador. So at the end of season one, there's a car bombing and her daggone husband is blown up. The person who's like her right hand man, he's also in the bombing. He gets blown up. Well, let me not say blown up because they definitely were still alive. But one of the people were not. It was a young girl in her early 20s. She didn't make it. And of course, the person who the car bomb was for, he definitely didn't make it. So that's how season one ended, okay? And it really got you ready for season two. But of course, I had to go back and rewatch season one to be up to speed. So here we are, season two, where they are trying to figure out who did this car bombing. Um, they're still trying to get Carrie Russell to be the VP. They still want her on board with the idea. And it's like prime ministers of London. What was that other guy? The prime minister. Dang, what was that other dude position? Child, I don't know. I'm not really a political person. Like when my husband seen, I had it paused and he saw that it said the Diplomat. He said, "What's the Diplomat? Some type of police show?" Okay, because that's my vibe. I said, no, it's actually like this political series. I can't think of this other guy. What his position was, I can't think of it. He was a black guy, very, very handsome, I might add. Oh, and there was some flirting with her and this black guy because of course she half the time she pissed off with her husband, half the time she loved the guy. Child's a mess. So anyway, a big like conspiracy happens and the VP of the United States end up flying to London. So Carrie Russell has to meet the VP. The VP knows that they want Carrie Russell to follow her shoes as the VP. So like they're talking, going back and forth, yada yada yada. Well, then something happens. I can't remember what happens, but something happens, and the VP decides no. I think her and the president decides no. I'm going to stay the VP. I like it here. I do a good job. Meanwhile, back on the ranch, she was a part of like a scandal with how the bombing happened in the first place. The VP had like a hand in that. So Kerry Washington tells her husband to go tell the Secretary of the State. And her husband does not tell the Secretary of the State. The husband decides he needs to tell the President of the United States. The husband goes and tells the President of the United States what the VP has done. The President is so upset, y'all, that he literally drops DEAD on the spot, making the VP the now president. And as that is happening, Carrie Russell and the VP are talking out on the garden in London. And the VP is going back and forth with her like, no, I want my job. You think you're going to come and take my job? Carrie Russell was like, I never wanted your job. Like, I've been telling these people no all these times. She said, but if the president asks me, I'm going to tell him yes. The VP was like, no, if he asks you, you're going to tell him no. They was like going back and forth. And so that's how it ended. It ended with Carrie Russell's husband getting the people. He was like, I need to talk to my wife right now. Get my wife on the phone. Because he needed to hurry up and tell her that the president dropped immediately, making the VP the president. And y'all, I don't know what's going to happen because it seemed like Carrie Russell had pissed off the VP while they was out on that garden, like they was having a going back and forth match. So I don't know if the president is going to make her the VP or not. I guess we're going to find out in season 3 because they definitely, as soon as season 2 went off, they was like, another season is coming soon. I bet it is because this is good. It's really good, y'all. So if that type of thing tickles your fancy, political environments, London, prime ministers, scandal, Russians, a lady that don't want to be the ambassador, but she has to be, a marriage that they love and hate each other half the time, then this is a must watch. All right, y'all. Thank you so much for tuning in. Make sure to like, comment. Let me know if you have watched The Diplomat and if you like it. If watching political series is your jam, let me know. And I will see y'all in my next video.